Apparently, I'm live. Alive and alive. The reading for the next 24 hours, as you may or may not have guessed, if you don't know, is about Earth Day. Because the 22nd of April, 2024 is Earth Day. It's all about our Earth, the mother planet on which we live. The title of today's reading is called The Gifts of Gaia. And Gaia, as I'm sure most of you know, is another word for Mother Earth. This quote, the first quote is here, it's called a Native American proverb. It was actually kind of quoted today at the service by Reverend Dr. Jesse Jennings. Treat the earth well. It was not given to you by your parents. It was loaned to you by your children. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. A slightly different and smaller version of that was what Reverend Jesse quoted this morning. And of course, immediately Daniel Mercadal got on the computer and came up with the answer as to who first said that. And it's attributed to an Indian chief by the name of, or a Native American chief by the name of Seattle, Chief Seattle, at the end of the 19th, beginning of the 20th century. So is that the original source? We don't know, but it seems like the kind of saying that Native Americans would have used. Why? Because they respected the earth. I'm going to read the whole thing like I did yesterday, and then I'm going to come and comment afterwards, if that's okay. I make comments on the quotes. The earth contains untold riches, and the very air is vibrant with power. And that's Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind, right at the beginning of the book on page 25. So here we go. I'm going to read it, and then I'll come back and comment on it. And why am I early? Because I have to go run some errands, and I'd sooner be, honestly, it may not appear so, I'd sooner be early than late. And I know most people watch the recording. Anyway, the earth truly is our gentle giant, carrying us through space on her back. Love the earth, for she is neither good nor bad. People often call her bad when there is extreme weather, like typhoons and tornadoes. Yet, when there are gentle rains, the clear rivers flow, and the soil is nourished, we often call her good. Mother Nature makes no discriminatory judgment of who is worthy of her perceived wrath or bountiful blessings. Mother Earth does her best to keep herself in balance as she gives our ever-growing planet a ride through space and time. Spend some time with this gentle giant, offering gratitude for the Earth's sustaining stability. Become conscious of Mother Earth's gifts to you. When you drink water, appreciate the gift from Gaia. When you eat, be gratefully mindful that the food you consume is an offering of the earth. As you breathe the fresh air, become aware that this breath is a life-sustaining gift from the planet. With this expanding mindfulness, you will experience a deeper reverence for each moment until that reverence becomes second nature, as though every step becomes a prayer of gratitude for having a place to land. Realize you are part of Gaia and one of her loving expressions. Well, as I said, tomorrow is Earth Day. It's a day when we go back and we try to do several things. We try to be grateful for everything that the earth has provided for us. And whether you want to think of the earth as just providing it, or whether you want to think of this as coming from the divine through the earth, it really doesn't matter. You know, we're getting blessings from the earth, either way, the direct way or indirect way. And the other thing is that as human beings, if you go back way in human history, we've not always been very respectful of the earth. Some cultures have been, A lot of cultures have not been. But if you go back through time, you'll see that even back in the days of, quote, cavemen and women, quote unquote, or the Paleolithic times, the old Stone Age, you'll see that even then we were leaving our trash behind and we were creating garbage areas outside of where we lived, whether that was a cave, a village, or wherever it was. So this is a time when we come together and we start to recognize, what can we do? Can we do our bit? Okay, so if I'm saying this to you, what can we do? What do I do? Well, my wife and I are very diligent at recycling. Our garbage container does not go out every week for collection. It goes out maybe once every 3 weeks. Our recycle container is usually pretty full by the time we put it out there, although even it doesn't go out every week. We have a little thing in the kitchen, a little container where we collect foodstuffs and so on, and that goes in our compost heap. So we do our bit that way. We do our best to try and avoid using plastics where we can, because whatever they tell you, I saw a program recently, plastics, by and large, are not recyclable. Whatever they tell us, there's a lot of plastics end up in the waste. They end up in the garbage, in the landfills. So the other thing we can do is to keep reminding ourselves and our family, friends, and wider audience through mediums like this, that it really is a worthwhile thing to protect the earth, because what do we want our kids, our grandkids, and their kids to come into? What kind of climate do we want them to have? What kind of area do we want them to have? You know, we as human beings do have the ability, we have the technical ability to solve these things. We really do. And anything we don't know now, well, as you know, when we go into spiritual mind treatment, we believe that all the answers are available in the universal mind. And if you think about it, it's true. Not everything has been invented yet. There's lots of stuff out there. And when more of us start looking and believing that the solutions to things like climate change are coming, well, there we are. I know some people don't believe in climate change, but I just seen statistics. The vast majority of people, 70% of people, even in the US, believe that we should do something about the climate. So this is kind of our soapbox today. If you missed Reverend Lisa this morning, you can catch her on Facebook Live. On our Facebook page. You can also catch it on YouTube. If you missed the service this morning, it's going to be available on both Facebook and YouTube. And also, during the service, mostly Daniel Mercadal and sometimes Reverend Lisa will put comments in there. Well, they'll put links in there. So Jess will make a statement, and then they'll track something down and they'll put links in there. So it is actually worthwhile going and looking at those recordings and looking at the chat, quote unquote, for those recordings. And you'll see a lot of links in there which are really useful. And remember, if you're not already signed up for our newsletter, please do so. Our weekly email newsletter. Nobody's going to spam you. Your email will not be given to anybody else. We don't sell it. We don't trade it. We don't even give it to other people. It's a fact. info@creativelife.org. It's up there in the notes. You can do it. And that's really all I've got to say. And once again, I'm going to end with that. I think it's a beautiful ending where we say, oh, the affirmation. I realize how blessed I am by the gifts on and of this planet. I realize how blessed I am by the gifts on and of this planet. So know with me that the light of God surrounds us, and the love of God enfolds us, and the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us, because everywhere we are, God is, and all is well. So Reverend Lisa, tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. I'll be back somewhere around about 5 o'clock tomorrow evening, give or take, because I'm doing a Child Protective Services mediation tomorrow afternoon, and those either end quickly or they drag on forever. So I don't know what time I'll be back home tomorrow evening. So, but until then, have a great rest of the day. Have a wonderful day on Monday. And until next time, namaste.